The next concept I want to introduce in body mechanics is going to be learning how to stabilize the scapulothoracic area, or stabilize the scapula, so that we're taking a lot of the pressure out of the rotator cuff tendons and really being careful with not doing too much strain on rotator cuff tendons by engaging and stabilizing the shoulder blades. So this exercise really is more of an isometric exercise, so it doesn't really have a lot of movement and it can be a little trickier to learn, but we'll introduce it here and play with it later on. So I call this the shoulder trifecta, because there's really three different vectors of movement, well, they're not isometric contraction, that we're using to engage this scapular stabilization. So the first one will be with our hands like this, is going to be pushing the hands together. The second one is going to be internally rotating the hands, and the third one is pushing the hands together. So 1, 2, 3. But when we're going to combine all those as one, so it looks more like that. Now the thing is, I'm moving, right? I'm moving my hands to demonstrate it, but when we're actually applying it, we're not really moving because it's isometric. So let's demonstrate this on the wall. Now we take this and we're going to translate it to the wall for the scapulothoracic shoulder trifecta stabilization. So again, we're going to come to the wall, elbows straight, in a lunge, kind of like warrior one, and the movements again are inward rotation and upward like that. All together looks like that, but again, this is isometric contraction, so we're not really moving. The other piece of this is that the muscle contraction is coming from the pec major, that's this one, and then the circular or the inward rotation like this will get into the serratus anterior and to some degree the subscapularis, which is rotator cuff, but it really, when we get the serratus anterior engaged, and even to some degree the lats will engage, we're getting the bigger muscles to support the scapula, so that the rotator cuff muscles aren't taking the brunt and potentially creating chronic overuse injury over time. And then the upward rotation is going to be a little bit of anterior deltoid, but it all just works together to stabilize the scapula. So it's going to look like this. So I'm in this lunge, really leaning in to the wall from my back leg. We're not doing this. I mean, we can, but we're not going to have the same level of control or power, and it's not as good on our lower back. So here we are lunging, and all I'm doing now is engaging these muscles. Not much to see, but I can really feel it through here and through my pec muscles. And this is a really important concept, especially to learn how to get your serratus anterior to engage while you're giving body work. The final thing I'll say here is everything that we're doing, we want to coordinate with the breath. And every time we're doing some exhale, we want to have and create a habit of creating a tiny bit of muscle tone in the transversus abdominis and the pelvic floor, stabilizing the core, stabilizing the shoulder, and the scapulothoracic joint will give us, one, better quality of touch, but also reduces chronic overuse injury over time.